Hey guys, what's going on? Dylan Conrad, DCFitPros.com, formerly known as DylanConradFitness.com. And if you're working and you're stressed, you're probably sitting down. That's the worst thing that you can do for your body, is being stressed and being seated all day. And there's some very specific muscle imbalances that arise from that. And the goal with all the exercises I'm going to show you, these 5 exercises, is to reverse all of that. Now, when you reverse those imbalances, it might make you feel a little bit more loose and therefore less stressed. But one thing you do want to make sure of is that you don't just use these as band-aids, and you have something that you're attacking the stress that you're feeling while you are working, such as meditation, breathing drills, anything that just makes you relaxed, okay? In the meantime, I'm going to show you some instant relief techniques, the first of which I've covered probably a million times for the last 3 years, and it's called Brugger's. I love this drill because it really turns on your rotator cuff and gets your shoulders nice and fired up when you're in this forward rotate position, and gets you out of this fear reaction that comes when you are stressed. These shoulders start coming up. This focuses on taking you more down and back with the shoulders. So what you want to do is bring your hands towards your sides with your palms up. And from there, all you're going to do is turn your thumbs out as far as you can, rotating your shoulders. Now mind you, you don't want to rotate your shoulders and pin them back. You actually want to rotate with your hands on your side, fingers extended, and rotate far behind you as you can. And when you feel like you're done rotating, keep rotating. And if you hold that for about 30 seconds, you should feel the back of your shoulder blades start burning, and that's your rotator cuff activating, making your shoulders a lot more stable, a lot more healthy. Second one is just blowing up a balloon. Now if you're at work, you might be a little self-conscious in blowing up a balloon. If you don't have one, you can pretend that you have a balloon, and what you want to do is pretend that you're blowing into that small little crevice in the balloon forcefully. So you want to, and the most important part is you focus more on expiration, so getting all the air out, than inspiration, than getting the air in. The reason is because when you get all the air out of your diaphragm, it's putting it into a neutral position. So when it expands, when you get all the air out, it's putting you in a deflated position, getting all the air out of the diaphragm. And when you expand, it'll put you into a more neutral position. So focus on expiration of the diaphragm rather than inspiration, and that's going to help you get your ribs down, and therefore when this is stable, everything can move properly around it. Third exercise is just basically carrying something heavy around. Now if you have a briefcase or you have something on the desk that's really heavy, and I was talking about this fear reaction, these shoulders going in the ears, if you're carrying something heavy, if you don't have a dumbbell by your desk, obviously, you can just load up your suitcase. And a little pro tip is carry it more on your left than on your right. Because if you see here, my shoulder's just hanging, okay? I'm getting out of this position. And if you look closely at my shoulders and at everyone's shoulders, because we're just naturally asymmetrical, the heart's on one side, the liver's on one side, diaphragm is different anatomy from side to side, we're perfectly asymmetrical. So this shoulder drops down more than the left, and you'll notice just walking around, people have a dropped right shoulder. So holding that weight on your left side will get this oblique a little bit more active, and your shoulders a little bit more squared, and take the shoulders out of your ears, okay? Fourth one we're going to do, we're going to be seated right over here. Okay? And when we're seated and we go into this slump posture, one way to clear it up is going up and extending up, but what's actually going to help even more is if you clear up rotation of this thoracic spine, so from the bottom of the rib cage to the bottom of the neck. And the drill here is to interlock your fingers, put it behind your head, nice and tall. You can put a ball between your knees, or you can just squeeze them together and rotate as far as you can one way. And then from there, you're going to dip to the side. When you come back up, you're going to rotate as far as you can again, then you're going to dip to the side. And what we're doing is using, and you can literally keep going and going, we're using the spine's anatomy to get more motion at the thoracic spine and the muscles, okay? So when we're doing this, one thing you don't want to do is make sure that you're just going over at the hips. You actually want to bend from the side right from here to get that spine out of the way, the actual bones, okay? That's seated T-spine rotations. The last one, the fifth one, is just neck packing. So when we're looking at that computer screen, we're all stressed out, we find our head getting closer and closer to the screen in this position. We want to be more here, and that allows inspiration to happen more naturally, so getting the air in, and it also puts your shoulders in a better position. So when you're here, these neck flexors are just weak. These are overstretched back here. So what we want to do is think about going back, the chin, to your occiput, so the bottom of your skull, and just pushing that chin in. And just hold that. You should feel activation in the base of your skull. That's your biological cue that you're doing it right. And one thing you don't want to do is when you push your chin in, it's around your shoulders. Okay? And you also don't want to tuck. Okay? It's just straight back. Hold that for about 5 seconds, do about 10 of those, and you should feel like you're more over your head. Again, all these corrective exercises are great in clearing up these muscle knots that are going to cause stress, but take care of the underlying issue. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm Dylan Conrad from DC Fit Pros. For more like this, please subscribe to my newsletter or check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Dylan Conrad Fitness. Thanks so much.